Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun puzzle that kind of combines rule sets, which that's always interesting. So let's take a look at it, see what's going on. I don't have to blab a lot for this intro. Let's just get at it. So it's called Thermo Sum Lines, and that should be fairly telling as to what the rules of this are. It's by Evan. We've done a puzzle by Evan before, maybe two of them, I think, at this point. It's been a bit, but that's fine. So what do we have? So we have Thermo Sum Lines. So it's really just one rule set, but it's two smashed together. So blue thermometers, these are all blue thermometers, have the properties of both a thermometer and a region sum line. That is, digits along a thermometer must strictly increase from the bulb end out, and box borders divide a blue thermometer into segments with the same sum. So let's go look at those for a second. Thinking just thermos, whatever this digit is, it must then increase value as it goes up from the bulb to the tip. Same for all of these. Then we think about region sum lines. We would say that these three digits here would have the same value when added together as these two digits. This one would have the same value of these two. These two would have the same value as these three, etc., etc. So that's it. So pretty simple, but it's a nice, interesting combination of rule sets where we just kind of take them and put them together and make one rule set out of it. So that's it. Links in the description. Let's get started on this thing. And where to start is a good question, as it always is. The thing to look at, and I guess we're going to have to go down this path because it doesn't look like there's anything obvious here, is we're going to have to start putting in some values of our thermos and then correlating that back to what can and cannot occur on those thermos to satisfy the region sum concept. So let's do that. Let's start on any of these big ones. I think I'll start here because this one interacts with a lot of things. So I think this is what? 5 cells, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 would be the highest it can ever go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be a little bit tedious here for a second, but sorry, I missed a digit. But just to get things started, we're going to do this, and then we'll look back and see how this affects the actual puzzle. Because if we were to actually say this was 5, these would have to be 6s and 7s. So that would be an 18 total, but these would be 8 and 9. We can only get up to 17. This can never be 5. Now, it would be possible, though, for this to be 6 and 7, because it could be 6, 7, which is 13, plus the 4, which gets us to 17, and the 8, 9 would work. So let's look at the other way around. Is it ever possible this is 5? It's not, because if this is 5, this is 4, that's 9, these would be 3, 2, 1, that's 6. Don't work. Can we go any further with this, really? I guess we can say this can never be a 3. Because it would force 2, 1. So this would be 6 at its most. But we can't ever create something as low as 6. Because we start with the bare minimum of 6. So this is not a 3. Can this be a 4? If we have a 4 here, we're looking at 3, 2 as our highest possible. That's 9. That doesn't work either, because this would have to be at minimum of 5, minimum of 6. That would get us to 11. So maybe it's the middle of these thermos that are really going to be the keys here. If this is a 5, that forces what? At least a 6, 7. So this is a minimum 8. No, sorry. 6, 7 is minimum 13. 5 plus 4 plus 3 ain't 13. It's 12. So this can't be 5. I think we're going to run out of room here to go much further, though. But we can remove options now just by the basic thermo rule set, at least at the ends of these thermos. So we're going to know that this bad boy is at a bare minimum of 15. Now, it could be 15, 16, or 17. And that reduces what this can be. Because we're looking at bare minimum 15. If this is a 6 as its minimum, these guys would have to equal at least to 9, which we could do with 654, but we couldn't ever put like a 2 here, because this would be a 2, 1, that's 3. The most we can ever get to is 10. 3 and 2 is 5. With 7, we're only looking at 12. Again, we're not there. What about 4 and 3? We could get to 14, which isn't enough. So we can reduce these things down. And it's going to be the exact same thing here. So if we work out everything here to start with, it's actually going to be the same here as well. We're going to have ourselves possibly some pairs, triples, quadruples, something like that we can work with. Now, I don't know that we can reduce this one any further, but let's just take a look at it. If this is a 1, the highest this can ever be is a 7, 6, which is a 13, so it won't be 14. We said we had to get to 15, plus if we put a 7 here. Anyway, that raises what our minimum is. So this can't be 1. Can it be 2? 2 plus 7, 6 does get us to 15. But again, if we put the 7 here, this raises the value. What this can be, this would be 8, 9, 17. So that doesn't work. 3s and 4s. Let's think about that now. If this was a 3, these could be 6, 5, which would be 11, so it gets us to 14. That's not high enough, but if we had this be a 3, 7, 6, again, that's only to 16, these would be 17, so that doesn't work. So this always has to be a 4, it seems. And I should probably go back and make sure that's accurate before going any further. Because if that is accurate, that's going to propagate through the rest of it. So I don't want to make a mistake there. Let's go back and just take a look at it and make sure we're right. So I know this is going to add a couple minutes here, but that's fine. We need to make sure it's correct. Now, how did we go about this? This is, it can't be 3, obviously. It can't be 4, could it? Because if it's 4, 3, 2, that's only 9. It doesn't work. Yeah, so we can start reducing these. Oops, wrong button. If this is low, we're talking about 2, 1, that's only 3. We can only get up to 10 total. We have to get this up higher than that. Still, if we're looking at 3, we're looking at 3, 2, it's 5, plus the 7, 12, we have to get to 13, etc. Now, if this was 6, 7, let's think about it that way again. We got 13, but these are 17. This could be a 4. Okay, that would work. So let's continue on here. If this is a 1, the highest we can ever do here is 13. Doesn't work. Again, we said if this was 2, the highest we can get here is 13. That would get us to 15, but that pushes this value up. This is a 3. Again, we're looking at 7, 6, which is 16, but this gets up to 17, so that doesn't work. And then I think if we said this was a 5, it breaks this another way. So it'd be 5, 6, 7, which is 18. And these would be 8 and 9, which is only 17. So this is 4. Okay. So we got back to it used a slightly different route, so that's good. Don't know why that's doing that sometimes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I can't quite tell. Anywho, apologies. Like I said, as we were getting back into this, we know that we've worked out all the possible opportunities for this thing. And we've determined that this is how those could work. So then we can, since this is essentially the exact same thing as all of these, they just have slightly different shapes, the same concept will work. We don't have to redo all of that. So we're going to get doubles, 5, 6. This has to be 7, 8, 9. Now we know this has to add up to 17. These are 11, so this has to be 6. This has to be 5. We can also say down here, this has to be 4. And I should have put these in before I did all this, but I remember it, so it's fine. This has to be 8 by Sudoku and 9. Therefore, these are 17. We have to put a 7 here, and we have to put a 6 here, so that ends up being the same thing. Now that we have all of that, let's see how that affects the rest of our Thermo Sum Lines. There we go. I could spit it out. So what do we got? We're probably going to have to just put in what our options are going to be, at least to start. No, that's as high as that'll go. So this can't be 5. Double clicked on accident. 3, 5, 6, or 7 would work. Okay. So that's what we've got here. So we're going to have 2 digits that have to add up to a third, because this value is its own value, and these two add up to it. So let's think on this one if there's anything here, or we need to go one of the larger Thermo Sum Lines. I'll get that into my head at some point, probably, but probably not. So now the obvious thing is if this was 3, 2, 1, perfect. 3 equals 2 plus 1. And it seems like there's going to be multiple ways to make these work. So yeah, I don't know that we can pare this guy down much. We're going to know that one of... Okay, let's just do Sudoku, now that we have all that. None of these can be 4s, so this has to be... One of these has to be 4. Could still put a 4 here. No, we can't do that. Because if we put a 4 here, these are 3, 2, 1, then equals of 6. So that would break this. Let's just look through our Sudoku now, since we've just noticed that there's something that comes of it. Now, we can't ever put a 4 here, because the bare minimum we could do then would be 4, 5, which is 9. And we still have to put a digit here, and this could only get up to 9, so this can't be 4. Okay. That might not be getting us where we need to yet, so let's move on to some other digits and see if we get any help. Doesn't really look like we will. This is 5s and 8s up here. No, it's not. Not 5s, it's 8s. So the 5 could go down here. Well, we're getting less than I thought we might have there, so we might need to start looking at what the options on these other ones are. Because essentially, on this guy here, we're going to have 3 digits that add up in some way to a singular digit. So this digit has to at least be a 6. And these have to be, well, these three digits have to add up to at least 6. So 6, 7, 8, or 9. We cannot use a 4, so we're always going to have a 1 on this thermo region, or thermo sum line, because we can't make 6, 7, 8, or 9 without a 1 or a 4. So this is the 1. And then, well, this can't be 7, because we can't use the 4. What are the options? We can either do 2, 3 to get to the 6. We can do 2, 5 to get to the 8. We can't do 3, 4. On the 9 side, it would be 1, 2, 6, which doesn't work. 1, 3, 5, which would work. Okay, so those are the options there, which means this can't be 5, this can't be 2. Did that do anything for us? Don't know that it did. We can use the same concept here, I guess, because we know we're going to have 3 digits that have to add up to at least 6. We can't use 7 or 8. This actually can't be 7, so let's get rid of that. This then has to be either 6 or 9. If it's 6, it has to be a 1, 2, 3 triple. I should just put it in the way that it would have to be. If it's 9, it could be 2, 3, 4, or it could be 1, 2, 6, or 1, 3, 5. Not quite where I thought it might get us. Is there anything more basic, like where can 1s and 9s go on these things? There may not, but it's worth a look. So like this digit, looking at the bulbs and the tips kind of in unison, because we know this is, again, a single cell value that has to have whatever these two add up to it. But it could be as low as 5 in this case. So 5, 6, 7. It can't be 8 or 9. Again, it couldn't be 4 because the 4 is over here. So that'll start telling us what these can be. This can't be 5. This can't be 5. Thank you. So this can't, again, this can't be 2 because it forces us to be a 1, 2. It can be down to a 3. This can, yeah, it can be a 1. It could be 1, 4, 1, 6, something like that. This can't be a 5 because it would have to be 5, 6. It can't be a 4 because it had to be a 4, 6. Well, the 4 was up here anyway, but you get the point. It could be a 3 with a 4 to the 7, so we have to keep that as an option. Okay. Thought we might, again, get a little bit more there, but we're having to kind of pick through these and see if we can find something. What about here? Again, it can't be 9 or 8. It could be 6, 7, 6, 5. Can't be 4. But it could actually get to 3. I guess what that does tell us there's an 8 in one of these two. Don't know how useful that is, but we really already knew that anyway. What else does that say? Let's go down the line, because we've had to do that, and we've been able to reduce a lot of these things doing it, so. This can't be a 4. this can't be 5 again. Is it going to be? It's going to be the exact same concept we have here. We have to be a little bit more careful because we could remove things by Sudoku. This can't be 4 by Sudoku, can't be 6 by Sudoku. So we could do the 2-1 for a 3. We could do a 3-2 for a 5. We could do a 5-1 for a 6. We could do a 5-2 for a 7. So it seems like all of those are possibilities here. Sure would have liked to get the 5 out of there, though, because that would have created a 2-3 pair. That doesn't seem to be in the cards. Oh, well, there's a 9 here. Doesn't really do anything for us, except for get rid of a 9 here. What are these digits, then? We've got 2, 3, 5, and 8. This can't be 8, so this is 8. Okay, again, I guess we had to put in some of these options before we could determine what some of these things could be. Again, we need to have an 8 in this column. It has to be one of these two. We have to have a 9 in one of these, just by Sudoku. Eights have to be down one of these two. Oh, this is an 8-9 pair. Let's just do that. Which means there has to be a 5 down here somewhere. Which means this can't be 5. So that is reducing this a little bit. Still not quite enough, but it's something. Huh. This is a little bit tricky, because I think you do really have to start looking at what all the possible options are, and then use those to kind of correlate it back. So let's look at this guy, I guess. Now, he doesn't have much reduction going on. Because technically we could go down to a 3. Now, obviously this can't be a 4. Yeah, that's horrific. I don't like looking at that like that. This guy doesn't seem like he's getting us something too big, but maybe there's something else in it if we think more about the entirety of this region. But I don't quite see it yet. This could still be, okay, we can reduce this a little bit more since we've reduced this one, I think. Like this could still be a 6 because 2 and 1. This can't be a, no, it can be a 5 because this could be 3 and 1. If it's a 4, I think that's going to break. Because we can't do 1, 1 to get to 6. No, we can do 2, 3, 2 to get 5. So that will work, yeah. And if this is 3, it's 2, 1. And this is 6. And that all seems to work as well. Okay. What about any of these other ones that we've put some possibilities in, or reduced them at least a little bit? Maybe there's something more we can go back to and find. So this is either 2, 3 to be 6, or it's 2, 5 to be 8. So it can never be a 3. So this is 2. All right. 3s and 5s, anyone? 5s can't be in any of these, so they must be in one of these two. This can never be a 5. That should be a fairly obvious thought once you actually think about it. Because if this is a 5, the least this could be a 6, which would be 11. So there's no way that's 5. This is 5. No one of these has to be 5. Is there anything else like that? This has to be semi-high because of the 1, 2 here. So 3, 4. Again, it can't ever go up to a 6, because that would force at least a 7 here. So we're looking at a bare minimum of this equaling 7. That gives us 7, 8, 9, a triple. So it could be 4, could be 5, it could be 6. Well, it can't be 5. But we get a 3, 4, 6 triple too. Okay, so maybe that's how we got to kind of work this thing. One of these is a 7, which means one of these is a 7. It goes with a 1 or a 2, whatever that 7 is. These are 3, 4, 6, and 7. This can't be 6 because of that guy. Okay. What else has to go in here? A 3. There we go. Because of the row, which will remove another possibility here. So the 3 ends up, well, we already knew that, I guess, didn't we? If this can't ever be a 3 anymore, because we can't ever get up to 6 if it was. This is not 3, which means this is 3. If that is 3, this is either 7 or 9, so this is not 8. Okay. Again, we're getting bits and pieces, but we're getting something. How has what I've just marked up helped me further? See, the 7, 8, 9 I don't think is quite useful at the moment, because we still have all of this real estate. What about the rest of this guy? This could be a 4 with a 2, or it's a 6 with a 1. So no, we can't quite figure that out. We said this could be a 3, 4, 7 or 3, 6, 9. We know one of these 2 is a 9. Does that give us anything? No. Okay. Did we get any more reductions? These already are 9, and this is, I have a bad feeling that I missed this a long time ago, because I haven't looked at this thermo in quite a while. If those are already 9, this would get us to 15, 7, 8 would work. If it's 9 plus 7, that's 16, 7, 9 works. So does this have to be a 7? Is that what I just said? Because 9 and 6 is 15, so it's 7, 8. 9 and 7 is 16, so it's 7, 9. Yeah, this has to be 7. So this is 9 and 8. Okay, that does actually get us somewhere, because that forces this not to be 9. This should be 6, and this should add together. So it's 9 plus 6 is 15. 7 and 8 is 15. That 8 gives us an 8. Again, these are little straggly digits that we're solving here, but they're going to help us, I think. This has to be 1 or 2. That 6 does give us a 4 here. So this has to be 2 and 6. And this is 7. This is 4. So this is going somewhere then. Okay. What do we have? This has to be from 1 or 2. This is 3, 5, and one of the ones. Oh no, this has to be 2. Okay, and this has to be 1. So this is 1, 3, and 5. There we go. And now let's see what we've got left. The 8 here gives us 9 and 8. We've got these 3 digits. What do we have to put in them? 2, 3, and 9. So this is 9. This is a 2, 3. We now know this is 9. None of these are 9, so this is 9, which forces this to be 9. So we get the old domino effect going on here. These have to equal 9, so this can't be 3. What else do we have? Let's go back to Sudoku in this case, I think. Let's look at column one more time. We've got to have 1, 3, and 6. This is 6. This is 1 and 3. Where does a 7 go? Has to go here. This is not a 6 anymore, so this can't be a 5. So this is a 1, 2, 3 triple, which means this is 5. If this is 5, this has to be 3 and 2. This is 2. This is 1, which is 3. So this has to be 6. This has to be 4. This has to be 4. And there we go. Again, I just had to look at something that I had started and did not finish. Yeah, I know. It's a bad habit, I guess. 1 and 3. These have to be 2 and 7. So this is 2. This is 7. These guys have to be from 1, 5, and 4. Therefore, this is 4. So we get our 1, 5 pair. This 5 now here gives us 3 and 5. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the 8. What else do we have? This can't be 2 anymore. This can't be 1 anymore. They have to add up to 7, so it has to be 5 and 2. That 5 finishes the 1 and 5. The 2 finishes the 3 and 2. And now we're cooking. These guys have to be 3 and 8, so 3, 8. These guys have to be 5 and 7, so 7 and 5. Let's do it this way, because that's the least number of options. We need 1 and 3. This is 1. This is 3. This is a given 6. These two have to be from 3 and 7, so we get 3 and 7. The 1 and 3 looks down here. This is not 5 or 3, so it's 1 and 3. Now these are all going to be givens. This one is the 1. This one is 8. This one is 5. This is a given 1. This is a given 6. And this must be 2. There we go. You solved the puzzle. Again, took a little longer than it should have, because I didn't look back here, but even after coming back in here, I probably would have had to go through and make a lot of the deductions that I made anyway. But anywho, that was an excellent puzzle. I really like the combination of the thermo and the region sum lines together. It made a nice puzzle where there wasn't a ton of rule sets, but there are two good rule sets, two solid rule sets that are combined together to make a good puzzle. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. I certainly did. I'll see you next one. Thanks a lot.